So I've been wanting to do a Q&A for a while, and please, if you have any questions, please submit them. But my very, very good friend Donna Gleed, please check out her YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. She just did a video answering some questions, generally about herself that we found on the internet. So we thought it'd be fun if I did some of these just as a kind of groundwork for the general stuff about me. So, like I say, please do submit your questions, like anything about geeky stuff and that. But for now, let's get on with these, I guess.
Welcome to News Night. Today, I will be interviewing Natasha Douglas, aka Sketchney, aka Atlas. Question 1 for you today, or question 3 on our
My
list.
specialist subject.
What is your favourite colour?
Red.
Red. It is. It's red.
I do love it. I do love autumnal colours. I like browns and oranges and yellows. Earthy colours, yeah. And there's the cat. Everybody say hi, Shadow.
Hi, Shadow.
Yeah, but no, my favourite is red. I love deep reds, that kind of crimson. I like lighter reds.
You mean like the curtains behind you and the sofa you're sat on the wall behind you? Those kind of reds. She likes red.
I should have sat here in red clothes. No,
Don't make me point out your trousers.
I am gonna. I do want to get a different colour. Oh God, there's a dog as well. Come on, then. You can be part of the video. Or not.
His bum can.
Okay, there is a dog there.
And he's cute.
Yeah, no, red. So.
Red. Question 2. No, I'm not going to say that for each one. It's okay. What is your favourite food? Not dessert.
Bacon. You know what I love? I love pork pie. I like pastries, to be honest. I like pork pies. I just love that change of texture and taste. Or peppered steak slices. Cornish pasties.
Yuck.
So that kind of
It's all about you.
Yeah. Yeah, you like pasta, I don't. So
Yeah.
Mind you, my body doesn't kind of rejects that stuff. So, but yeah.
And your favourite dessert, madame?
You know what? We got asked this recently. And
You should know the answer then.
I have several. I didn't. Well, I had several answers. I love Arctic roll. I don't think you can get it anymore. But for those who don't know, Arctic roll is like vanilla ice cream wrapped in sponge with jam in.
Product placement, number 1. Iceland's, as far as I know, still do it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, Iceland's, if you want to start sponsoring my videos. No, also mint Viennetta. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. She likes the mint. And madame, if I may ask, how old are you?
Jammy bitch.
I was as polite as I could be.
I know, you were as polite as a... Well, you know, you don't ask lady these questions, no.
You're not a lady.
33.
33, youngster, she's still a baby. What have you learnt today?
I've learnt that it's an amazing experience. I mean, I've enjoyed chatting with May to December on the PlayStation Network via the headset, but Donna and I last night, we were playing this morning for just over 4 hours. We were talking on the headset and playing completely different games. And I was listening to her play Assassin's Creed, and I was playing Rogue Legacy, and then I changed over to Thief because I've borrowed Thief off her and her husband. It was really weird because we were both swearing at completely different things, and yet it felt like we were talking about the same stuff kind of thing. So that was so much fun and really silly. So that was something I learned.
And if I may ask, what is your favourite subject in school? Sorry, not what is. You left school a little while ago now.
Yeah.
What was your favourite?
You see, everybody wants me to say art because
You're arty.
I do art stuff. But actually, English, I did love music. I've loved music.
She still does love music.
Well, yeah, I loved music and media. But English and
Mm.
science, and also history.
They're good subjects. I mean, they are the ones where you actually feel like you're learning stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
They do spark your...
I like, stuff
want
that
for
makes
knowledge.
you think, kind of. I mean, it's like I was really, really good at religious education, which is really, really funny considering I'm not a religious person. But...
learning about different religions. I had that. That was one of my...
different religions and...
liked ones, yeah.
Yeah, and my teacher would constantly say, you should go further with this because you're really good at it. And it was like, it's just because I can take those different ideologies and process them and stuff. And, and I am really interested. I love learning. As I've said before, I love learning new stuff. And so, yeah.
What do you do?
Does fuck all count as an answer?
You do.
I do YouTube videos and gaming. So and creative stuff on the computer and that. So and go to conventions.
Yay! With me.
Yay!
What are some of your favourite books?
It's difficult because I don't read much anymore. Because of my eyesight deteriorating, I've found it more and more because I have to use a magnifying glass. I mean, I've been reading the bloody X-Files comics, but they're not really books, obviously. But because I use a magnifier, I know you can get audiobooks, and I would like to get into audiobooks, but I'm a big fan of the older Stephen King novels, because his newer stuff is rubbish and really poorly written. But it is, I'm sorry. I picked up one and I started at the first...
Negative product placement. 1.
Stephen King. No, it could be that it was just a rubbish book. I've not given, and since that one, I've not given any of his newer stuff much of an opportunity, chance. But I read the first couple of pages in this one book, and it was so poorly written. I was just like, but yeah, no, I just don't get a chance to do that. But a good thriller story kind of thing. I like. I like whodunits as well.
Sorry.
I like stories that make you think.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry about laughing, by the way. I realised I'm nodding with the active listening thing.
Yeah.
And they can't see it. So I'm doing that whole interview. Yeah.
This separate video of you videoing and sat there.
And,
like Jeremy Paxman, nodding away.
And I realised why. I mean, you do it naturally when you're listening to a friend anyway, but... so sorry about that. So if they heard laughing, I'm sorry.
I wonder why you laughed. I was like, I would like to read the Game of Thrones books.
You can get them on audio.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. What are some of your favourite movies? Nothing blue, please.
So if it's got blue in the title. I love war movies, like The Great Escape and Downfall and Casualties of War. I love Disney movies. I'm a big sucker for Pixar and stuff. Up is easily just... Oh my god, and WALL-E. I love those movies.
WALL-E! I love WALL-E.
I love WALL-E. It's so
WALL-E.
sweet. So yeah, I like, like Die Hard and Terminator and...
Oh, the good Christmas movies.
The good Christmas, yeah, exactly. The nice shit blowing up. But I hate stuff that offends people. I hate any movie, I hate that. But I hate as well mindless action, like the Transformers movies and stuff. I hate. I know I'm getting really clear behind the camera.
Really? Mindless? Really?
Okay, no. I didn't mind.
Sorry, standing up for Transformers, baby.
I didn't mind the first Transformers movie. It was when they got just ridiculously insulting in that.
In all fairness, if you had said the newest Superman one, Man of Steel, I would have totally agreed. But Transformers.
Yeah, no.
Kind of geeky you.
I hated Man of Steel as well.
Oh, that was just.
I've said it before. It was essentially turning Superman into Batman because the new Batmans have worked. It was like they were doing their own version.
I actually preferred Superman Returns. I think a lot of people didn't like that, but I really liked the story from that one.
I liked Superman Returns.
It was very much along the lines of Superman and his, his troubles and his love for Lois and stuff, and everything. And I really liked that one. So I know this isn't my review.
Pan that one. No, but a lot of people pan that one, and I really enjoyed that one.
It was
But then they came out with Man of Steel, and it was essentially like I say, ripping off.
It was very heavy, and very long.
Yeah.
Very dull.
But the thing is Superman is supposed to stand for promise and all that stuff, and it was like giving him issues, and it's like that's not what Superman is supposed to stand for.
Yeah, and it didn't match the other movies with its darkness either.
No.
And the 3 hours was just too much.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love the Marvel movies and DC movies. I love superhero movies. I have a good eclectic taste. I have a nice cat.
Okay. What kind of music are you into?
You know what? It's Donna said on her one that she would say eclectic, but then she doesn't like certain things. What, just to get Mulder in a shot? Oh, yeah. I was gonna get to that on the. I love Gene Penn. I love 60s music. I love ABBA and disco music. I wouldn't normally say that I like rap, but I like stuff like Gangsta's Paradise.
Oh, that is a good song.
There's a couple of Eminem ones that I like. Otherwise, I'm not really a rap fan, but. It's like I would say normally I don't like modern music, but you get that odd song every now and then, like you said with Passenger. Or... Oh, I thought the camera was dying here. Well, it can't be because it's plugged in, but I mean the SD card I thought might be full. Like every now and then you'll get a song and you're like, wow, I really like that. Say like Passenger or some Katy Perry, or I wouldn't normally say I like Katy Perry, but every now and then she does this song that I like, or So, I like some rock. I like Meatloaf and Queen and stuff. And I know Donna doesn't like that because she grew up listening to it. So, but yeah, no, I love music as well where it sounds like the people are enjoying it.
Yeah, like country.
You can get
I love country.
I do like country. I love Tammy Wynette, Patsy Cline, those the older country. I find a lot of the country today is very samey.
It was good in the 90s.
Oh, right.
It got you had like Shania Twain kind of stuff, but
yeah,
not quite
I do like Shania Twain. Yeah. But mainly, I think my main interest would be in the 60s. Kind of when you think of what that's done for today's music, like how it's progressed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Elvis, ABBA.
I mean, like I say,
Queen.
Yeah. but like I say, I mean, obviously Gene Pitney's my favourite, but I do love ABBA. ABBA are easily my favourite group, and it's that kind of. I like pop. Let's say pop is my like.
Okie dokie. Big question. If you were going to write a book, what would you call it, and what would it be about?
Well, technically, I've written a book. It just didn't get published. I wrote a novel, and it was basically about a woman being killed in a small village, and the knock-on effect that had within the community. How one person could, maybe that was me at the time. I was like 18 or something when I wrote it, and I wrote it over like about 3 years. But it was just a knock-on effect, and her father was like this evil git and stuff like that, and it was this long sprawling book. But and when I was a kid, I used to write short stories for my sister. I'd make up these, but I'd bind them I'd get like when you get the sketchbooks, and fold it around the A4 paper and like do illustrations and that of just these kid stories for my sister kind of thing. if I was going to do one now, I'd probably write one, like about, I don't know, conventions and, like some geek, like you're reading that Geek Girl series. I would probably write something geeky kind of thing. I don't know.
Your murder book, what was it called?
It's a really silly title. It was called Thank You, Mummy.
Okay. And did you actually submit it for publishing? You said it didn't get published.
I looked around. I didn't send it off. I looked up all the company, because you're supposed to see what subject matter is for certain companies and stuff. And I did all that research. I just never... I never got the nerve up. I wasn't confident in myself the way I am, say, thanks to Donna and other people have brought me out of my shell. I did not have the confidence in myself or anything I did back then that I do now. But now when I read it back, I would like to not redo it, but like some of the language in it needs, there's a lot of, the thing is when I write, I see it as a movie, so I can hear the voices in my head and stuff like that.
She always hears voices in her head.
Yeah. But the thing is I ended up in this book that I'd written, there was a lot of dialogue and there wasn't much, there was descriptive paragraphs, but not in the same way that I would now. Like, I discovered that when I started writing fan fiction, I was putting so much atmosphere and description in, that I didn't have in my book, so I really would like to go back and properly flesh it out.
Terry Pratchett actually wrote a book called Carpet People. He wrote it when he was about 17.
Yeah.
And I actually own it now, but not the original. I'd love to have the original.
Oh, okay.
If anyone's feeling generous and wants to track it down for Christmas, yes please. And he actually rewrote it in his 40s. And he said it's a it's jointly written between two people, him at 17 and him at 42 or something.
Yeah.
And it's actually it's a kiddie size book, but that's actually really good. And I was wondering if you would actually consider like re-editing it now.
Yeah.
And then submitting for publishing.
Every now and then I've gotten the folder. It's in this big folder. I mean, the first half of it I've got it on typed up. But I've got the big, because I used to just type it, and unfortunately I had my computer crash on me several times, so I lost stuff and that. So I started writing it down and keeping it all in a folder. So every now and then I've got the folder out and I've looked through it and stuff, and I'm like, I would like to go back through this kind of thing. So it's something that I constantly think about, but I've been really struggling to properly write stuff, even just write short stories recently. Like I say, I used to write fan fiction, and I just don't do it anymore. It's not that I don't want to, it's not that I don't have the ideas, but every time I try to put a sentence together, it's not working in the way I'm not. So I don't feel confident or comfortable enough at the moment, but it is something, once I'm back into the flow of like writing and stuff, I would like to go back to it properly.
Sounds cool. Okay, we're going to go on to the next question. What's one of the scariest things you've ever done? Other than befriending me. She didn't deny it, did she?
No. In a way, it's not the scariest thing, but I will say, putting my first video log that I did on YouTube.
Oh, into the world to be criticised.
Yeah. I knew that, I'd seen other videos and I was like, I know YouTube is something that you've got to put up with the trolls and the people making rude comments. And looking the way I do and people not understanding and that, I knew that was a terrifying, I was like, I'm going to ignore any people that make any rude comments, stuff like that. And I've been very fortunate in a way. I've had the odd one or two things, on this channel, I've been very fortunate in that people looking at me have not made, too much. There's been the odd question, and I've answered, and they've very politely gone, oh, sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
think.
We are becoming a much more accepting, social media-wise.
Yeah.
I think we're becoming a much more accepting, we're more listening to what people have to say rather than worrying about what they look like or the house looks like or anything like that. So.
Unfortunately, on the channel where I did my Let's Play of the X-Files game, people were making rude comments about my voice and stuff like that. And somebody said, oh, because somebody said, "Oh, you sound hot," and somebody replied and went, "Oh, well, if you saw her other channel, you'd see she's definitely not." And I was like, "That's off making comments
that's
elsewhere."
not needed. I don't understand why people feel the need to write these things.
Yeah. So that was a terrifying. That was something that I was dreading, if you know what I mean. The most scariest thing I think I ever did. It sounds really silly, but I performed on stage. I sang on stage.
Oh, no, I could imagine that.
And I was shitting myself because it was at the theatre that I was working at the time for college, and they did these things called Fresher Nights where you all put it on, but then you would relax and watch and enjoy the evening kind of thing. So all the musicians, technicians and actors got together kind of thing to just sit, drink and smoke and stuff. And so all these people I worked with, they knew me, and I got up on stage and sang, and they were like, "We didn't know you could sing." And it was really, they were coming up to me at the end going, "It's amazing, why don't you sing other times?" So, and I really came off...
Yeah, except don't keep whipping my ass on SingStar.
But it was that kind of thing, like, because Donna said on her thing about going on rides, it's that adrenaline, because I tell you, I said I would never do it again, but I came off and the adrenaline rush, I was like, tattoos. I want to go back up there again.
It's like getting tattoos.
Yeah. But it was absolute, honestly, I don't think I've ever panicked so much. Even go through, because I had to audition to get the chance to do it, obviously. It wasn't something you just went up and did. You had to audition to get a slot in the night set list kind of thing. So even auditioning was the most scariest thing. So.
Do you remember what you sang?
I sang Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston.
Oh.
But I hadn't heard Whitney Houston's version, so I did it my own way. Everybody was like expecting me to do it the Whitney Houston way, and I was like, no, I'm doing it my way. So.
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
There's two things. The first thing would be when I won an award for my charity work at school. I got a Care in the Community plaque. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to keep it. I had it for a year, and then they had to give it on to the next person who won it the next year. But I used to do a lot of charity raising fundraising when I was at school. I did different events. I did a charity event myself to raise money, but then I would do posters and that for raising money for Harvest Festival and Comic Relief, and I put on a quiz once for Comic Relief and Children in Need and stuff like that. So I raised quite a lot of money in the time that I did that. So to get a Care in the Community award for that was really, I was quite proud of that. And the other thing would be, I still do, run a fan site for Gene Pitney, and he saw it, and he put a message on the message board and said, "Why didn't you tell me about this? I love this site, this excellent colours, this, that and the other." And for him to have that interaction, that was an achievement. That was a complete accomplishment, because it was, it wasn't just a fan doing silly stuff on the internet, and I was younger, and stuff like that. So to see that was a real. And then when I went to America, my friends there, they got him to sign a T-shirt for me, and it said to Tash, "Thanks for all your work on the website," and that was really so doing that was a huge accomplishment. What I'm proud of.
The next one is, are you married?
No, unfortunately, no men have just realised how awesome I am yet. So, no, unfortunately.
On a very similar subject, do you think it is better to get married when you're young or when you're older?
You know what, it's difficult because I've never been in that kind of situation. I think I would like to say I think you would know when. I think you need to know when it's I would like to believe that you can feel it, if you know what I mean, when it's the right time. But I think you really need to get to know somebody. Maybe have some time to properly get to know them and stuff. And I think older's not the right term, but certainly not like when you're in your teens or...
Sure, yeah.
maybe mid to late 20s, maybe. But no, I'm sorry, Donna's rolling her eyes because she knows when she was 22. That's not a bad age, but that's after 21. I don't think 21 is the right time. Because you're still developing at that time, if you know what I mean. So I think you should get to know each other properly, get to spend that time. But yeah, I like to think that you would know when it's time. You can't stop, but I think you need to be in your 20s at least before. No, that's fine. Sorry, Donna's checking. What?
Do you have any kitty witties?
Oh, I wish. I would like to pass on my madness to somebody.
Oh, crap.
Also, like my sister, she hasn't had any kids, so I feel like there's nobody I can teach anything, like to kind of thing. Not that I have anything to teach, but
I learn something new every day from this woman, I'll tell you.
I would love to have kids and that, but like I say, no men in my life. So.
Have you ever thought about adopting? And I don't mean necessarily while you're single.
Yeah.
I mean, like, do you think, in general, I mean, you might be single later in life and want to adopt.
Health issues and that, may stop me from being able to have kids. So I would love to have kids, and if I was settled with a guy and it wasn't working having kids, then I would adopt. It sounds awful, but like I say, I grew up with rescue dogs and stuff. We always grew up with rescue dogs, and I know I would love to think that I would get a kid, be able to adopt a kid that has been rejected or whatever, that kind of needs that love, kind of thing. So.
This next question relates to physical age, not mental age.
Oh.
Okay. When you were a kid, so not now, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Sounds really silly.
She wanted to be a porn star. She didn't. I made it up. It's okay.
Well, no.
Oh! Wow! Yes.
I wanted to be an English teacher.
Oh, that's a good profession.
Or a doctor. Teacher is one of those things that still sticks out of my head. I don't have the confidence to stand in front of a group of... But I would love to work... Again, I love kids.
I can relate. I wanted to be a teacher as well.
I love kids. And I would love to be... I actually... when I was at junior school, we got given this... a handful of us were picked out to do this project where we would go to the infant school. Or nursery. No, I think it was the infant school. To read to the children. And I got to do that, and that was an amazing experience. It was something that was right up my alley, to be able to go to somebody so much younger and teach them in a way, and have that one-on-one contact kind of thing. So teacher is still something that I've always said, I would love to do if I got the opportunity.
You and your noble soul.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
Do YouTube videos. My God, they're not fun. No, I'm joking.
Again, porn star.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
I play video games. I watch movies. I draw. I do silly stuff on the computer, like editing and stuff. I'm very creative. I like to do... It sounds really silly for somebody who can only see out of one eye and barely out of that one. But I love doing creative stuff. So, yeah, just productive stuff. I love listening to music and stuff. So yeah, really just going out, hanging out with friends. As rare as that. But I see Donna every day, so that's awesome. So that's my fun for the day. And of course I've got the lovely pets to deal with. So they're my fun as well. They're my family. Look at this, the life and soul of the party. So that's it, I guess. Thank you all for watching. Like I say, please submit questions and that, and please do check out Donna Gleed's YouTube channel. For now though, thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.
That was Natasha Douglas on NewsHour. I thank you very much for coming in and answering my questions today, and we hope to have you back real soon.
Goodbye now.
Goodbye now.